Hey guys, we are surviving on the cheap, located in the United States of America.
In a bunker, deep underground.
No, just kidding. We're in the Northeast right now. Let me just tell you a little quick thing. Remember, no you don't remember, but when we climbed in Washington it was too warm. Now it's 12 degrees. True story. But
it's very cold.
We're coming at you live with a couple day delay via the Man Den. We are just doing
chilly Man Den.
It's very chilly. We're doing a brief debrief of our Arcadia budget trip, which has just fully...
A lot of you guys said it'd be cool if we could go over what worked, what didn't work, what you guys didn't see in the video.
So guess what?
Here we are.
We're going to do it.
Telling you. So, is it conspicuous that we both look down at the same time?
I'll just edit that out.
But, so as you can see in the video, one of the things that really didn't work out for me personally was my shelter setup. So in the time delay footage, you saw us putting up hammocks and stringing up our tarps over the top. I'm a little bit taller than Pat, so I needed a bigger hammock. The problem was my cover tarp was too small. So when it started to rain, I was actually getting rained on and water was getting into my tarp, and I was retaining water a little bit, like a pregnant woman. But I was. So I had to ditch it. I had to get rid of the hammock. So I cut it down and I tried to lay it right on the ground, right below the tarp. I tried to leave it where it was. Unfortunately, right underneath me is a dip that goes right down to where the river is. You can almost, yeah, I think you can see it
a little bit
in the footage. So I'm trying to sleep, not happening. Pat, how are you texting me? That was my second shelter setup. Didn't work at all. I was rolling downhill and I was rolling out from underneath the tarp, and I was getting wet that way. So I moved for the third and final time to an area flat that was really flat.
Third time's the charm, right?
Third time's the charm.
Nope.
Unfortunately, it was like 3 in the morning when I did this, and it was a nightmare. I was in kind of a gully that we ended up getting torrential downpours in the middle of the night, and it just filled up with water. I was on my self-inflatable air mattress, and I was like floating like a little boat. A little raft. And also water was bouncing underneath my shelter and getting me soaked.
Just bad all around for you.
So it wasn't that great. So I ended up just getting up at, I don't know, I laid in a wet sleeping bag. I didn't want to wake Pat up, because it's not cool to do that. I wasn't like in mortal danger or anything. So at like 5 o'clock in the morning I woke up and started cutting up firewood in the middle of a torrential downpour, and got a fire going.
And meanwhile, while he's struggling with his sleeping systems, I just had it rough. It was bad.
Kid's a dick.
No, I'm just kidding. I was enjoying some nice dreams and warm, cozy sleep in my tarp. It was so good. My tarp hammock, I was dry, I was warm, I could hear him rustling around, he kept waking me up like an ass. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
You should have been more considerate of people who set up a proper shelter.
Hey, I set it up correctly.
I'm just kidding.
I set it up correctly, it's just I'm too big. I'm too big for that shelter.
So, I think lesson learned. Leave the hammocks for me, and John shouldn't camp in the rain.
I'll definitely do a hammock next time. I just gotta, instead of using a 5x7 tarp, I just gotta go up to 8x10 or something.
8x10.
8x10.
How about that pack you had?
Pack? But yeah, so the backpack situation. Once again, Pat had superior gear. Had an EMS pack. But that's not saying that mine failed, because it didn't at all, actually. It worked out great. It was a Marlboro Gear, something or other pack. No markings on it to really say what it is, how many liters it is. No one knows.
It was enough liters.
It was big enough, but this kind, gentle sir, John Kentucky, gave us a warning saying that, hey, I had one of those packs, the thing totally failed. He shot a video on it. We looked at it. It was pretty thrashed. Maybe it was a factory defect on that one pack. Ours, the one that we have, held up great. I'm going to use it again in the future. I mean, it really did. I mean, and we stuffed that, you can see in the video, I had that thing packed pretty full. And at no point did I feel like it was going to fail. Zippers all worked fine. None of the stitching looked like it's coming loose. So maybe the one he got was just beat up or something was wrong from the factory. But the one we have worked out great, so that was nice.
And my pack, it worked well. Enough said.
Yeah. It is what it is. So, I feel like I'm talking for the most on this thing.
You are. Sorry, though.
But sleeping gear wise, ended up, other than everything of mine getting soaked, worked out fine. It still kept me warm, which was nice. And this is actually something I'm going to say that's going to go against the grain from contrary beliefs. Contrary to popular belief, sorry. I used a cotton liner in my sleeping bag. And a lot of guys will say, can't use cotton liners, don't bring cotton. On this trip, the cotton liner actually really saved me. My sleeping bag got soaked, and I pulled out the cotton liner and I slept in that, and it kept me from going hypothermic, because it did get a little chilly during the night.
It was cold.
I mean, and being,
well, I wouldn't know if that was right.
I was drenched, but that cotton liner helped. It still got wet, and it was still warm. A lot of guys will say once cotton gets wet, it loses all its insulation, like its insulational properties, and you'll freeze to death. Didn't do that here. It really did help. So I'm not saying go out and everybody buy cotton liners instead of silk or synthetics, but in this case, that $5 liner I made with a bed sheet worked out great.
And my sleep system worked pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
My buns was nice and warm because I had that nice little thermal thing from a car windshield. What are those things? The sunscreens. That worked really well. And I also had my sleeping bag on top of that. And inside my sleeping bag, I had a liner of sorts, just made out of regular sheets, not regular blankets, just like cheapo blankets.
Mm-hmm. Fleece blankets.
It was good. I was nice and warm. I had a pillow too. It was just a good time.
Just once again, Pat getting everything great, and I got the shaft. Sweet.
I just plan better, what can I say?
You can't plan anything.
Anyways.
Dick. Guy's a dick. So I don't mean that. I love Pat.
Fire.
Hi. But yeah, so
okay, speed it up.
So sleeping gear, that was something people were worried about, but it ended up working great. We didn't freeze to death, and
or did we?
Yeah.
Are we here? Well, are we really alive?
I think, therefore I am. I just got freaking philosophical on you.
Aristotle or whatever.
That wasn't Aristotle.
No. Who was it?
That's shit. What's his name?
Plato?
No.
Socrates?
No. He's not Greek. He's French.
Oh. Descartes?
Yeah. It was Descartes, wasn't it?
René Descartes.
Shit.
I took a philosophy class.
Me too. Why is that making noise? Yeah, but so yeah, once again, can talk about fire. Tough, very, very tough to get a fire going in the rain. We've had to do it before.
We're actually going to do a video. We had a couple people just ask us about fire making inclement conditions. We're going to be doing a video when they're inclement conditions on that very same topic. So you'll be able to see how John did it,
how I do it.
Done. How I attempt to do it.
Some people call me the fire whisperer.
That's not true. That's Codolindine, but still.
It's like the dog. What's his name? Dog whisperer.
Dog whisperer.
Cesar Millan.
It's like that kid from Sixth Sense.
Yeah, like I see fire people.
Yep.
No, it doesn't work that way. But yeah, so how did I get that fire going, you ask, in the middle of a frickin' torrential downpour? Well, it wasn't easy. We had fat wood. Stuff works amazing. But again, it's raining real hard. So you need a steady flame, which is, I mean, with a match, it's really difficult to do. So here's a little pro tip for you. Go down to the dollar store and pick yourself up one of these. It's called Fancy Heat. So fancy. This one's dented.
But no, that adds to the.
It adds to the coolness factor. It's like
the flammability.
Straight up Boba Fetted. Look at that. But raw. Got it. Sorry, I'm a little weak. But yeah, if you can see this, it's it looks like a sterno, but it's not. Sternos have like this kind of petroleum jelly thing in it. This is a liquid, and the closest thing I can equate it to is like Zippo fluid. At least that's what it seems like to me. It's got a wick and like a hurricane lantern, I guess. But this is nice because I lit this, put it kind of under my jacket, lit it, let it start going, and it was a nice steady source of flame that I could stick underneath all that drenched tinder and kindling I had, and it actually got it lit. And then once the fire was self-sustaining, I pulled this out and just kept loading it up and loading it up and loading it up. But I mean, for $1, this thing's great. We actually didn't even bring it as a source for starting fire. We actually brought it for
food.
Yeah, for like a stove fuel. These things work great. There's a video out there. I think it's like the $3 cook kit. It's by Intense Angler, and he actually uses one of these in a little metal sleeve that he makes that goes around here, and you pop them off, and you got yourself a little stove. I use them all the time. It takes like 10 minutes to get 2 cups of water to boil off of this, and they will go for 2 hours, it says on here somewhere. Yeah, it burns for 2 hours. So I mean they're fairly light too. I mean, don't weigh anything.
Was that you wanted me to?
Yeah, I was going to let you judge it weight wise. Thing's a featherweight. So yeah, if you know you're going out, it's going to be really wet conditions. This is something that you can bring along that has multiple uses. So you can start fires with it. You can use it for cooking, and you can light it and sit there and warm your hands in your little
6 fingers
wet shelter with it.
Or, like I said, you can cook for it with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't cook food directly over it.
This is my segue. I'm talking about food. Or like we said, you can cook with it too. And we had some good foods with us. If you don't know of some good foods to bring with you on a backpacking trip, check out our cooking food video. Or if you don't know of any foods to bring with you on the trip, check out our food video.
Backpacking food ideas on the cheap.
And but on this trip, we used some of those ideas. We brought some oatmeal, we brought some stuff like that. We didn't bring those sugies though.
No.
Sugies, but that's all right. But we packed in chicken.
Fresh food.
Fresh food.
Which we normally don't do. I'm entertaining now.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
Quit.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm out of this. I'm out of this. That's it.
Alright. It was on camera.
So anyways, we brought in some foods that we suggested in that video, but we also brought in fresh food, which is, that's a big no-no. But that's alright, because 1, we don't care. 2, it's cold. So basically we had a natural fridge. We put it inside of a little tiny cooler, and that was enough to keep it cool and insulate it from whatever warmth there was, not that there was much. But even still, it stayed cold because it was cold outside. Yeah. And also, if you're only going for a day and you can carry the stuff out that you bring in, make sure you do that. Carry in, carry out. If you
leave no trace.
If you're only going for a day, why not bring some food that you're going to enjoy eating? Instead of spending $10 on Mountain House meals, you could spend $3 on a couple chicken breasts or whatever.
Yep.
Get some food that you want to eat, and then bring a couple of spices, and just. It's also fun to cook over the fire. I don't know. I love cooking over the fire. You kidding me?
Poke some
chicken on a stick.
Chicken on a stick, and just put it over the coals. They're so good.
And then you can make it. You can make yourself something like Les Stroud. You can be like, oh, I just killed something. Look at this. This is what I killed. And you can have it on a stick and have it all like blackened and
kill the wild chicken.
We did actually that.
We didn't. And it only used its tenderloins.
It had a lot of tenderloins. It had lots of breasts.
It had so many breasts on that one chicken we killed.
But it's all right. to bring in stuff like that because it tastes good. And then for the usual, we brought in like the snacks, the lightweight snacks. One thing we definitely recommend that we both like, it's from Target, like the Archer Farms brand at Target.
They're like fruit snacks. Fruit twists.
Fruit twisted, but it's like real fruit. And they taste great, and they have a decent amount of calories.
They're all natural, organic.
And they're just good.
They're delicious.
And they're liked.
They're like a fruit roll-up for grown-ups.
Or kids.
No, kids don't deserve them. But yeah, so I want to like talk a little philosophy to y'all out there.
Not like the to be or not to be, or think therefore I am. Not that. Wait.
No, it's not that.
No, not that philosophy.
It's actually kind of serious, sort of. One of the biggest criticisms we get is that we pack in a lot of weight. The packs we bring are big. We bring in some comfort items. We bring in stuff that, like sleeping gear that's heavier and bulkier than something else that's on the market. All I want to say about that is don't get too hung up on the weight issue. People kind of go nuts over that. Like I've seen guys who like
depending on what you're.
True. If you're going like minimalistic, ultralight, that's fine.
That's not what we're claiming to do.
No.
Most of the trips, all the trips we do.
And even with that, if you're just starting out, don't worry about going out and getting the lightest, the cheap, the lightest, most expensive gear. You don't need it. You can get away with the lesser quality, less money gear. I mean, don't get hung up on the expensive, high quality stuff. You go out there and you have just as much fun.
This channel's proof of that.
This channel's proof of that.
I don't get expensive stuff. Sometimes we do, but we always try to find the best deal we can, and we just buy stuff used.
I mean, example, Washington. A lot of that gear we had to buy new because we just didn't have it. Those Koflock mountaineering boots, they're almost $400 new. Actually, I think there's some that are over $400.
$50.
$50, $100. Now that's still a lot of money. But don't get hung up on it. Like you don't need to go out there and get the most expensive stuff right now. And also, like I said, don't get hung up on the weight. If your pack's 25 pounds instead of 15 pounds, that extra 10 pounds isn't going to ruin your day. You're not going to stress out about it while you're hiking.
But there's also a diminishing return to that. If your pack is 55 pounds instead of 45 pounds,
you're going to feel it.
That 10 pounds that's just going to break your back.
Yeah.
So, but on all the trips we've done so far, we don't do any ultralighting. We just bring in stuff that we want to bring, and we also like to show you guys just, you don't have to get hardcore about it. You can get hardcore about it.
And that's fun too. We're going to be doing videos like that. We're going to break out, do some ultralighting. We're going to attempt to, at least. As ultralight as we can get.
I'm drilling holes in my bones. That's how ultralight works.
Well, that's what I was going to say, too. Like, I've seen guys who, like, drill holes in their toothbrush to lighten the weight. I know that ounces equal pounds, but don't get hung up. Don't get hung up.
That was a double. Don't get hung up. Don't get hung up.
I know. I wanted to emphasize the part, like...
Don't get hung up!
Yeah. Like don't ruin it for yourself trying to be as light as possible. Go out, have fun.
Check yourself prior to wrecking yourself.
Exactly. Checkity check yourself.
And on that note, we are going to end. Just like that, that's it.
Yeah, go away.
No, that's not it. As usual, if you have any questions, comments, or anything, or suggestions, some videos you'd like to see, put them in the comments below, send us a direct message, what have you. Big news, we have shirts and stuff available on the website. It's through a third party, so they're not like super cheap, we admit it. But I mean, it's kind of cool. I'm going to buy one just because I want one.
Me too.
But
my sweatshirt.
There's like mugs and just like novelty items if you want. I think it's a cool looking logo. You can just grab one, and some of the percentage goes to us to pay for the website.
Yeah, and that's really all it goes for. It goes for gear, which is freaking expensive. Goes to the website. Basically, all goes back to you guys.
You don't. I mean,
yeah, don't feel obligated.
This isn't a plea to buy stuff from us.
Yeah.
By any means, but we do encourage you to use the website because the more you use the website, the more helpful it becomes for everybody else. We're beefing up the forums a lot more.
Yep.
We're
some of our members are posting in the forums, which is awesome. Keep doing that.
We're finishing up the expeditions page too,
Yeah.
and we're trying to keep a blog going every single day or every couple of days to update you guys. So feel free to become a member. We're doing another giveaway with that too, a larger scale giveaway.
Yep.
But until next time,
I am Commander Lieutenant John P. Wiggle.
and I have to pee.